I rarely do this. I don't think I've done this in quite some time. And that's literally make a video, which I did on LeBron James literally a couple hours ago. And here we are with an update. So another LeBron James update, 2 LeBron James updates in one day. Let me know if you guys were in the previous video. But I figured this was actually insane. And this was definitely video worthy, worth making a video on, because this news is crazy to me, especially as a Laker fan. Now, guys, very quickly, before we jump into this craziness, if you watch a lot of my content, you haven't subscribed yet, please take a minute and hit that subscribe button, because as soon as I hit 500,000 subscribers, I will go full-time on YouTube, or as soon as I hit 50,000 people that turn on my notifications, I will go full-time on YouTube. On top of that, in case if my channel gets terminated or anything like that, I will be uploading all my content to Instagram TV. It's at Theflightmike. That's my Instagram account. Make sure you're followed on that. It's the same as my TikTok account at Theflightmike. Now, guys, this is insane. I'm sure, I really hope some of this is getting taken out of context, because we all know that the Lakers have been on a 4-game losing streak. And Kyle Kuzma at the same time hasn't been performing so well on the Lakers. He did have a better game on Christmas, but throughout this year, it hasn't been a good year for Kyle Kuzma. And of course, we can understand why it hasn't been a good year for Kyle Kuzma. He was the second scoring option on the Lakers last year. He was the second most highest used player on the Lakers last year, behind LeBron James. And this offseason, he actually spent some time putting himself in a situation to make sure LeBron James likes him. We've talked about it before on this channel, how he represented the Lakers in the NBA draft lottery and wore this Hand of the King sigil, which is a reference to Game of Thrones, saying that he's pretty much the Hand of the King. He is the King's go-to guy. Anything LeBron James needs, he will get him. That's what Kyle Kuzma went out of his way to do. He grabbed some dinners with Jeannie Buss, and as a result, Kyle Kuzma was the only player from the Lakers' young core that didn't end up getting traded. Now, if you didn't watch my previous video, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below, but LeBron James and pretty much got injured, re-aggravated his groin injury from last year that he sustained last year on Christmas, and now he was able to play on it, but a lot of people have their own opinions on the matter. My own personal opinion is the King should take some time off, try to manage his load, do some load management, and make sure he's good for the playoffs. The guy is about to turn 35, and the Lakers need him. He is the primary playmaker for the Los Angeles Lakers, and without him, the Lakers are clearly worse on the floor. They're literally a negative 6.0 when Anthony Davis is on the floor per 100 possessions, when Anthony Davis is on the floor and LeBron James isn't. So the nucleus and the heart of the offense runs through LeBron James. Although they say they play through Anthony Davis, we could agree that LeBron James is the most important player on that offense. His basketball IQ, his experience in game situations. The guy's been in the league for 17 years. The Lakers need him on the floor as much as they can. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because Kyle Kuzma's trainer comes out and posts this onto Instagram, and it's very random, but the guy's name is Keolan Kealoha. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but he comes out and says, watching Kawhi highlights from yesterday, nobody wants to speak on how sharp his skill set is compared to LeBron's. It's clear who's really in the lab and who isn't. Let me hear the excuses. I'm on vacation. I got nothing but time. And let me first comment on this, because there's a lot of things I have to say in response to this. First things first, LeBron and Kawhi are in 2 completely separate stages of their careers. Kawhi gets a lot of hate for load management despite being a 28-year-old, and LeBron James should load manage. He's about to be 35. LeBron has 7 years on Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi has a lot of more basketball to play, and LeBron, we could all agree, is closer to the end of his career than he is in the beginning of his career. Now, if you ask me, going back to this offseason, I believe both LeBron and Kawhi had different goals in mind. they both were trying to accomplish different things. Kawhi was probably trying to sharpen his skill set and try to figure out how he could fit in with his brand new team, which LeBron had to do to a certain extent, whereas LeBron James may have been more focused on, one, rehabilitating himself, two, trying to further grow his entertainment brand in Los Angeles, and three, become more acquainted with his brand new teammates and his new head coach. So there is some blurring of the lines. There is some similarities of what both of those players had to go through this past offseason. But Keolan continues and says, turn the film on. Somebody was dodging smoke yesterday, and it wasn't Kawhi. Now, this is what's really interesting, and this is why a lot of people are starting to tweet out Kyle Kuzma's about to get traded. And I'm going to give you my analysis of this as well. Kuz came out and said, call a spade a spade. Now, I would not be shocked if Kyle Kuzma seriously meant these words, because he went ahead and deleted it later. So there's two different perspectives that I could give you in terms of analyzing this tweet. The first is Kyle Kuzma truly means what he's saying here. We've seen Kyle Kuzma call LeBron's work ethic into question, or at least we've seen him, based off of his actions and how he physically conducts himself on the court, how he feels about LeBron's work ethic. Do we remember last year against the Memphis Grizzlies when the Los Angeles Lakers were down and Kyle Kuzma pushed LeBron to contest this one shot? That says something, man. That says that he doesn't really believe in LeBron James's work ethic, but that is if we're getting really extremely overly analytical with this situation. There's another perspective that I want you guys to consider. And that's, of course, we always will consider this perspective, but I'm also going to ask you how realistic you think this perspective is. At the same time, it could just be a tweet that's completely taken out of context. I'm sure Kyle Kuzma is smarter than that, than to call out LeBron James on his team. I'm sure Kyle Kuzma is way smarter than that after pandering and kissing up to LeBron James and doing whatever it takes to stay on the Los Angeles Lakers and not get traded and be in a situation where he could potentially win a championship before he goes contract chasing next year. I'm sure he's smarter than that, than to agree with his trainer on this situation. So I would like to think that Kyle Kuzma is smarter than that, but at the same time, there's a chance that he isn't. And there is a chance that he's actually frustrated because of his lack of playing time, lack of success on the floor, his injury troubles, his trouble meshing in with this new offense and this new team. But I feel like Kyle Kuzma's smarter than that. I feel like he knows in his heart of hearts, hey, I've been injured. I haven't been on the floor consistently this year. I could really help this team. This team needs me, especially now in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. I'm sure that this tweet was taken out of context, and I hope this tweet was taken out of context, because if it wasn't, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Now, there's another testament to LeBron's work ethic. Let's answer this question. Does LeBron's work ethic remain a problem for the Lakers? Well, I have a great answer for you. In fact, I'm going to play this clip from LeBron James's former head coach, Erik Spoelstra, so you can get an idea of where LeBron's work ethic is and how hard of a worker he is or is not.
I said it before we played them the last time. The fountain of youth for LeBron James is a bunch of work and no days off when no one's watching. This doesn't happen by accident. During the summer, he rarely takes a bunch of time off. So it's not like he's working to get himself fully back in shape, after enjoying 3 or 4 months of doing nothing. He's usually about, at any point during the summer, he's probably 3 or 4 or 5 days away from being ready to rock, for training camp. He invests a lot of time into his craft, into his body, on all levels, to give himself the best chance of fighting something that we will all lose to. But when you give a great fight that most people aren't willing to do, you can do remarkable.
As you could see, I'm going to give you a nice little example here. There are two types of people in the world. There are the type of people that wake up at 5 in the morning, go to the gym, train their butts off, get on with their day. And then there's those types of people that have to Instagram story every single time that they work hard just so they could give off the illusion that they have a work ethic. And if you are somebody that does it every day, wakes up at 5 in the morning, trains your butt off, chances are that it's become so routine to you that it would bore you if you consistently posted it onto social media. But someone that doesn't do it that often probably does need to post it onto social media just so he can make himself look good and give off the illusion that he has a crazy work ethic. I think LeBron James does have a killer work ethic. I think there may be a chance that he could be exhausted from all of the games he's played in the NBA. That could be a possibility, but I believe in LeBron's work ethic, and I believe he's doing everything he can to stay on the floor to the point where he shouldn't really be playing. Ideally, he should be sitting out, in my opinion, a couple of extra games to rest that groin. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Kyle Kuzma meant something by this? Do you think that this is just all taken out of context? I really want to hear what you have to say. If you made it to the end of this video, say, I took flight in the comments.